Hey team,
Hello, team.
Rowan here,
And Rob.
and every single year I've been drawing the Lunar New Year animal. So like I did pig and I did rat and I did all of them up until this year, which is snake.
How many more do you have to do?
I think 4 or 5.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I already
look at
had
that
6. Yeah, and now this. So this is me trying to figure out the pose for the snake.
They have a lot of options because
Yeah.
they're wiggly.
They are wiggly, and you can pile them on themselves. I did show this to you and to our friends to try to figure out what to do. And I
Made
think
us vote on it.
this is kind of the one that we voted for.
Yeah.
Just the one where he's, little poopy. You don't get to see me do it, because I forgot to record that. But here's that first version of him.
Mm-hmm.
I realized, because you and somebody else mentioned he's just in a knot.
Yeah.
And that wasn't great. I was trying to figure out where to put the tail, because I wanted a tail.
You want it to be dynamic.
Yeah. I
We
struggled.
had suggestions. We helped.
You did help, and I struggled really hard with Snake. I don't know why. Dragon was easier. Something about Snake was just hard.
Well, yeah, to get the danger noodle right.
Yeah. So, there's this, and then I keep changing the body from here to try to... He winds up very long.
Yeah.
Just very, very long.
Well, it's going to be a long year.
Yeah, that's fair. I did grow up with snakes. Now, I had a couple dogs and a couple cats and a couple guinea pigs and also a couple snakes. And, I think 3 total over the years.
I was a child who played outdoors a lot, and I really
Yeah.
enjoyed finding and catching snakes.
Oh, that was once a problem, wasn't it?
It was because I was snake hunting in the backyard, probably like 5 years old, and the snake tagged me right between my thumb and forefinger, and I went up to my mom, and it was just like a snake bit me, and she's like, "Oh, what kind of snake?" And I was just like, "I don't know."
That matters. It matters. Oh no.
Yeah, they watched me real carefully for a little while and said, he's not dying."
You're probably fine.
Yeah.
Oh no, it does matter.
Because they knew I knew like garter snakes and some other snakes that were in the area, but not like venomous. But this one was just like, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah, could have been a problem.
One of our snakes was
But
was named Trent, and he got to be about 10 feet long, which is about twice my head height. you know? And he did once bite my mom in the face. And my mom was very Steve Irwin about it, because she just... I saw her take the snake off of her face, just unpluck, just pluck from her face.
well, this one's cranking now.
Yeah, just put the snake back in the tank.
Yeah, that's very your mom.
She's just very much just like, whatever. But because the snake had gotten 10 feet long, and they're looking at me, and I'm a little kid, and they're like, I don't want the snake to swallow the child. So just in case, they gave him to Reptile Land, which I thought was like, taking the dog to the farm. But there's an actual place, and we actually got to visit Trent, and they kept the name and everything. Like, he was labeled Trent.
That's nice.
And it was very cool, and he got even bigger. He became very, very large.
That's lovely. I know a lot of people who keep boas and other snakes that get very long. Sometimes they'll lay out straight next to you to try and figure out, am I big enough to eat you
Right.
yet?
I think he might have done that to me.
Yeah.
That might have been the problem. We had a Burmese, and we had something else. One of them was a Burmese python.
Look at that texture you're doing.
Well, thank you. I decided that was a compliment.
It's a very nice looking snake.
Because otherwise my default is to draw every single scale, and I decided that that's insane, so I didn't do that. I did not wish to do this to myself.
Look at them scales.
Yeah. Rather than torturing myself with drawing every single scale. I decided to try to play with some things that I downloaded a million years ago.
All these paintbrushes that do the work for you.
A little bit. Because otherwise I will do it by hand, and that's
Mm-hmm.
unnecessary.
Oh, you're insane about your drawing by hand.
Yeah. I used to. All the time. And it's not healthy for your hand, especially when we have tools to avoid that. We had a hognose snake, and they just had a lot of craters.
The layers of colors really pop him.
Thank you.
He looks very much corn snake.
I tried so hard.
I'm going so far.
I had so many like layers and then layers.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make as realistic as I could with the least amount of time.
He's looking good. You're doing good. Snick.
You had a lot of like reptiles and things, didn't you?
I kept geckos.
You
That
kept
was
geckos,
my
that's what it
reptiles.
was.
I kept
Yeah.
Madagascar ground geckos.
See, that's fun.
Yeah. Talked about them before. I got a pair, and it turns out like I shouldn't have gotten a pair because the first one was super chill and the second one was terrible.
We wound up with pet rats just because we were feeding the snake, and then the rats would be produced. Like we would try to separate them by sex, and then there was always that one late bloomer boy,
Surprise! Testicles!
yeah, that wound up having sex with his mom
Yeah.
and everybody else, and then we had more and more rats. So we had many rats.
You accidentally did rat heaven experiment.
We did also have one rat that wound up in the tank with one of the snakes, and the snake just didn't want that rat. And so they wound up just living together for a while until finally I was like, can I just have that one?
Didn't that one like chew off its own tail with
That was a
nervousness?
gerbil.
That was a gerbil.
There was a gerbil that avoided being eaten by chewing off its own tail. We called that one Frodo.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
cruel.
and then my parents put Frodo in a tank right next to the snake.
Oh
That
no!
I didn't think was cool.
Oh, the trauma.
Whereas that rat got to just live in my bedroom.
Not only did you lose my ring, you lost a finger it rode upon.
Right. It's not great. This poor traumatized gerbil.
It's a living.
Yeah. But the rat was fine. The rat was just kind of confused and drinking out of the snake's water dish.
Little coexist sticker.
Yeah, they were fine, but I was bothered. So
What a
Commented.
lovely sunny day that you've made it for this.
yeah. Warm tones on top of the cool
What an
tones.
optimistic take for the year. A nice sunning snake on a tree branch.
I have some hopes. I'm sticking with my hopes.
Yeah, no, the hopes are good.
You're in a mood. You're in a mood.
I'm not saying don't be optimistic.
I didn't say necessarily optimistic, but I have hopes.
You made things nice for Snake.
Yes. And we're going to make things nice for each other and for our community around us.
Mm-hmm.
And living in New York is a really good idea now.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. Yeah, each of these I put a shape behind, so I had to decide what shape have I not done yet, and the answer is triangle. I am running out of shapes, so we'll see what happens in
Well,
future
good news.
years.
You can always add more sides and it becomes new shape.
Yeah, that's true.
Next year is the year of the dodecahedron.
And maybe
Snake!
snake, and I did play with the triangle a little bit.
How lovely.
So
I think that pops.
the white one is nice, and I also changed the branch. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually don't know which branch I prefer. And then purple. Purple might be my favorite, but I'm biased.
You do love purple. I think
do.
the white makes it pop the most.
That's fair. So,
Good
you're
snake.
the snake, and I'm Year of the Ox.
If you'd like to see these as stickers, leave a comment.
And tell us what year you are. What animal are you?
Yeah.
Rock on.
Rock on.